What if the person you're meant to spend your life with is already walking on the same path as you, but you just haven't noticed them yet? What if I told you that God doesn't just bring people together by chance, but by a divine, carefully woven plan, where every step you take and every choice you make is leading you closer to that one person who will walk beside you in faith? And what if I revealed that finding your God-ordained partner isn't about chasing love at all, but about chasing God and letting love find you in His perfect timing? If you've ever prayed late at night wondering when you'll meet the right person or why God seems to be delaying this answer in your life, you're not alone. Many have felt that ache of loneliness, that longing for companionship. Not just any companionship, but the deep, steady, unshakable bond that comes when two people are united by God Himself. Billy Graham once said, "God will give you the right person, but first, you must be the right person." That's because God's way of bringing two people together is different from the world's way. The world says, find someone who makes you happy. God says, become someone who reflects my love, and I will bring someone who does the same. From the very beginning, companionship was God's idea. In Genesis 2:18, God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." This wasn't Adam's idea. Adam wasn't searching for a partner. God Himself saw the need and created the solution. When God brings two people together, it is never random. He knows your strengths, your weaknesses, your dreams, and your calling, and He knows exactly who will complement and support you in that calling. Just as He fashioned Eve for Adam, He is fashioning someone for you. But God's timing is always tied to God's preparation. Sometimes you haven't met the right person yet, because God is still shaping you. Other times, it's because He's shaping them. Often He's orchestrating circumstances so that when you meet, the timing, the place, and the hearts involved will align perfectly. This is why the waiting season is never wasted. In our culture, waiting is seen as wasted time, but in God's kingdom, waiting is training. Think about the story of Isaac and Rebekah. Abraham's servant prayed for guidance, and before he even finished praying, Rebekah appeared. That may sound instant, but in truth, both Rebekah and Isaac had spent their entire lives up to that moment being prepared by God for each other. God doesn't just prepare your spouse for you, He prepares you for your spouse. The question is, are you using your single season to grow closer to God, to strengthen your character, to learn how to love selflessly? Or are you wasting it wishing for the next chapter without fully living this one? God's guidance in relationships is gentle but clear. Sometimes it's a friendship that slowly deepens into something more. Other times it's an immediate recognition. A deep peace in your spirit that tells you this is right. God leads through His Word, showing you the kind of person to marry, someone who shares your faith, your values, and your commitment to Him. He leads through prayer, not just prayers for a spouse, but prayers to become the person He wants you to be. He leads through peace, that calm assurance in your spirit. And He leads through providence, opening doors, crossing paths, and aligning circumstances you could never arrange on your own. When you meet the right person, you'll often see God's fingerprints all over the story, ordinary moments that turn out to be divine appointments. But love, in God's design, is more than just feelings. Feelings can fade, but faith and commitment hold a godly relationship together. God doesn't just want to give you someone who makes you smile for a season. He wants to give you someone who will pray with you when life gets hard, who will walk with you through every storm, who will help you raise children in His ways, and who will journey with you toward eternity. That's why His process often takes time. He's not interested in a good enough match, but in a covenant that reflects His love for the church. So how will you know when you've met the one? They will draw you closer to God, not pull you away from Him. They will love sacrificially, not selfishly. They will value you as God's creation. Your calling and theirs will complement each other. And there will be a peace in your heart that goes beyond emotion. Billy Graham once said, God's will is not a mystery to the person who walks with Him daily. If you stay close to God, you won't have to fear missing the right person, because He is more committed to guiding you than you are to finding them. Maybe you're thinking, but I've been waiting for years. What if it never happens? God's timing is not just about the person, it's about the mission. Sometimes He keeps you single for a season so you can focus fully on His work. Sometimes He's protecting you from relationships that would have harmed you. And when the time comes, you'll see why the wait was worth it. In Scripture, Sarah and Abraham waited decades for the promise of a son. Joseph waited years in prison before his destiny unfolded. Oh, David waited years after being anointed king. Before taking the throne, when God makes you wait, it's because the promise is precious. You don't have to chase love or compromise your values to feel wanted. Trust the one who knows the end from the beginning. God writes better love stories than we ever could. He won't just introduce you to someone who makes you happy. He'll lead you to someone who will run with you toward the finish line, will stand with you in joy and in sorrow, and who will worship with you through every season of life. And when it happens, whether tomorrow, next year, or many years from now, you will look back and say, "Now I see it. Now I understand why it had to happen this way." So keep your eyes on Jesus, not on the clock. The right person in the right place at the right time will walk into your life not because you were desperate, but because you were faithful. As Billy Graham said, let God have your life. He can do more with it than you can. That includes your love story.